Naturopathic programs feel better on the inside, look better on the outside.
Now back to Holistic Healthline, your direct line to good health.
And welcome back to Holistic Healthline, your direct line to great health. And our guest today is our good friend, Dr. John Peldyak. Dr. Peldyak has been in private general dental practice and worked with prevention programs for Head Start and mobile dentists. Dr. Peldyak is the founding member of the American Association for Oral and Systemic Health and is the author of Sweet Smart and Dental Health. And he has a new book about result. I'm not
Come on, spit it out.
I can't say it. Erythritol. I don't know. My tongue gets stuck here. Coming out this year. Congratulations. And Dr. Peldyak is here to join us. Talk to us about the importance of oral care as part of an active lifestyle. Hi. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to butcher the title of your book. Why don't you say what it is? And
No, that's fine. That's destined to become a bestseller, right? If nobody can pronounce it. I said, just what we need, another sweetener that we can't pronounce. Erythritol, yeah. It's very similar to xylitol, which you've talked about on the show before, but it's a little bit smaller molecule. They're very similar, and they even work together. So we're going to have some exciting new information about that coming out later this year.
Oh, cool. I hope you come back and talk to us about that. We know that today, everybody's trying to get healthy, particularly right now. Everybody's getting out and they're jogging and they're doing their nutritional drinks and they're doing all this different stuff. Is there anything they're missing that can have impact on our dental health?
Well, sure. When we're so active, we're away from our normal oral care routine, our toothbrush and toothpaste. It's not very practical when we're out and about or being active, being outside, working out, and so forth. So I like to focus on two main problems with that. One is acid, and the other is dryness. Acid is, as some of your previous guests have talked about, postbiotic metabolites, and one of which is lactic acid, which we know in our system. It kind of hurts, doesn't it? If you say feel the burn, that's the lactic acid buildup.
Yes.
And a lot of that lactic acid does come from sugar metabolism. Well, the same way it works the same way on the teeth. We get a lot of lactic acid buildup on the teeth from sugar metabolism. And that's mostly those sports drinks, the gels and the bars, and also that even the sugar-free energy drinks and so forth are very acidic. So it creates an acidic environment. The acid eats away at our teeth and also irritates the gums. The other problem is dryness, and when you're out working out, even if you're out in the yard, you overextend yourself on your yard work, you get very dry. Your nose dries out, your mouth dries out. Well, those are our natural defenses. Our natural protection is based on having adequate mucus and saliva. And when everything dries out, we lose our natural defense protection. So those are two of the main problems that we need to address.
We found also that patients who tend to have sleep apnea or snoring a lot, that they do a lot of mouth breathing. And what effect does that mouth breathing have on the pH levels in our mouth?
It makes it worse. It makes it more acidic. So we really need to breathe through our nose. And more training programs are talking about nasal breathing. In other words, you want to open your mouth. You want to try to gulp as much oxygen as you can, but it's really not efficient at all. The efficient system is to breathe through your nose. So if we could concentrate on most of our training being breathing through the nose and not gasping for air with our mouth, it would also help our natural defenses. Our natural defenses on the teeth require saliva, require moisture. Same in the upper airway. Natural defenses require moisture. So we like to keep those areas moisturized and hydrated.
So it's going to be difficult to get the average person out there who, again, is, snoring or mouth breathing, or even the person working out that's drying out their mouth, to say, okay, now we're gonna work on you to close your mouth.
I don't think they have lip clamps.
Well,
what can they do to compensate for that?
Well, we can add moisture. We can use the Xlear nasal spray for the upper airway. And in the mouth, we have xylitol products. Xylitol is a very moisturizing ingredient because it helps to draw moisture to itself. And it really stimulates our saliva, too, to help replace that dryness. It's an awful feeling when you're completely dried out and you're gasping for air. So if we can, before the workout, to spray the nose with the Xlear nasal spray, and then have some xylitol available, whether as a rinse or when we're working out, have the tablets or chewing gum. And that'll help keep the moisture at proper levels. And it's very protective for the teeth.
Now, I understand that there's been studies showing that a lot of athletes actually have very poor dental health.
Oh, I just chanced upon one not long ago that the title was Alarmingly Poor Oral Health in International Athletes. And that led me to this meta-analysis, a new paper that was just out recently, where it said oral health of elite athletes in association with performance, which was a meta-analysis. It was a review of dozens of studies, and they found that high-level elite athletes have a terribly high prevalence of dental disease, including tooth decay, untreated tooth decay up to 75%, dental erosion up to 85%, periodontitis, which, in a young population, you shouldn't see that much, and they had that. You say, this is terrible. If our athletes, what's behind that? And I think some of it is because of all these energy sources that they're taking in that are sugar-based and very low pH, in other words, very acidic. And it's very bad for the teeth, and they're away from their normal oral hygiene for hours at a time. So this is eating away at their teeth and having a damaging effect on their performance, and that was pointed out in this paper also. If you got time for just a quick story, the Chicago Bears in 1983 drafted a skinny defensive end that all teams in the league passed on for 7 rounds. He was drafted 203, and they found he had dental problems. They fixed his dental problems. He had dental infections. They fixed that. 2 years later, he became MVP of the Super Bowl and had a Hall of Fame career. So that's how dental disease can affect our overall performance. And their scouting group was smart enough to recognize that and say, this is fixable. We can do something about this. Once his teeth are fixed, he gained weight and was able to perform at a superior level.
Even recently, I was in to the dentist, and we were having a discussion because he knows that we do the natural health, and he actually recommends xylitol-based toothpaste and oral rinses and chewing the gum and the mints.
It's enlightened.
And he said that a lot of people don't understand that the bacteria that's in the mouth in gum disease as well as tooth decay, that goes into the circulatory system and is one of the leading causes of heart disease and stroke in people.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a terrible problem, and we're finally beginning to recognize it and see the connection. And there's something that everybody can do something about that. We can address the problem professionally at the dental office, but self-health is really so important. It's such a big piece of the puzzle. It's what we do when we're not at the dental office. It's what we do when we're at home. It's what we do when we're working out. It's what we do when we're just outside in doing yard work and all that sort of thing. If we have these protective products with us, such as xylitol, which is very pleasant to use, very convenient, portable. You can take it with you wherever you go, use it as often as you need it. And another problem is that people are snacking so often. The athletes, of course, are always trying to keep their energy levels up, so they're always using these, again, sugar-based energy products. And but the rest of us also we tend to snack too often. We tend to eat too often. So if you only brush your teeth twice a day or once a day for some people, it's not enough because we're having these challenges all day long. And what's really nice about the xylitol products is that they can be available all day long, no matter what situation you're in.
Dr. Peldyak, we got to take a quick break. And when we get back, I want to know, you can inform us as to what makes xylitol so effective. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Holistic Healthline, your direct line to great health. And our favorite dentist, Dr. John Peldyak, will be back in a moment.
They pulled in just behind the bridge. He lays her down. He frowns. Gee, my life's a funny thing. Am I still too young? He kissed her then and there. She took his ring, took his baby.
Now back to Holistic Healthline, your direct line to good health.
No, I'm no angel. No, I'm no stranger to the streets. I've got my label.
And welcome back to Holistic Healthline, your direct line to great health. And our guest, Dr. John Peldyak, dentist extraordinaire. He knows it all. He's been all over the place, and he knows more about xylitol than anybody I think you can think of. Again, Dr. Peldyak, what makes xylitol so effective? And again, is it safe for people who are like diabetic or have sugar issues?
Right, exactly. Xylitol is a naturally occurring substance. It's found in most plants. Most everything we eat that's plant-based will have some xylitol in it. It's structurally, it looks very much like sugar, but it's a little smaller, and it's non-reactive, and that's the big difference. Sugar is very reactive. You know about the metabolic havoc that sugar can cause, both on the teeth and in the rest of our systems. But xylitol is very non-reactive. But it does have a lot of interesting benefits. By the way, our bodies produce about a tablespoon's worth of xylitol every day, even if we don't eat any, because it's part of a normal metabolic cycle, which is essential for our health. But xylitol is originally its original use was in the diet of diabetic patients because it's low glycemic. It doesn't mess up your blood sugar, and it tastes very similar to sugar. The taste is very similar, so it tastes good, but it's low glycemic, doesn't provoke an insulin response in humans, and the big benefit for us is that it's antimicrobial. The bacteria just can't utilize xylitol because it's so non-reactive. It makes it such an interesting molecule because the bacteria see xylitol as another sugar. They want to use it, they want to incorporate it, but it doesn't fit together anywhere in their scheme. It doesn't fit together in the biofilm. Biofilm's that dental plaque, for instance, is a biofilm that's a bacteria held together by a slime. The slime is made up of sugar molecules. The sugar molecules that link together. Xylitol doesn't link together, so it acts as an emulsifier, breaks up the biofilms and make it easier to sweep away. Xylitol also on the teeth neutralizes acid, which is a big benefit. We talked about the acid problem on the teeth. And xylitol works with our natural defense system. So our idea is to honor and support our natural defenses. Don't try to attack the problem, bypass the problem. And that way we bypass microbial resistance to xylitol. Because there's no resistance, it's get along. It's like peaceful coexistence with our microbiome. It just favors the healthy bacteria and doesn't support the damaging bacteria. So that's a neat thing about xylitol. Another thing is it's a great moisturizer. We talked about that, how important it is to moisturize the mouth and upper airway, especially in the active lifestyle, especially if before you go to sleep at night. It's a good idea to use a xylitol product on your teeth, toothpaste, mouthwash, or dry mouth spray, and hydrate the upper airway with Xlear nasal spray.
Now,
it works together.
Now, the products that we use at the Tree of Life Wellness Center is made by Xlear Incorporated. That's Xlear, and their line for dental health is the Spry line of oral rinse, the Spry toothpaste, Spry gum, Spry mints. They've Spry dental floss. They've got it all containing, again, this xylitol that is so beneficial.
How much do we actually need for it to be effective?
Well, the total amount is really very small. It's in the range of about a heaping teaspoon to a tablespoon a day. That's very little. But divide it up. And it sometimes depends on what your needs are. In other words, if you snack frequently, you need to use xylitol more frequently. If you're outside, if you're an athlete, you're using these sugared energy products, use xylitol afterwards to neutralize the acid and keep the mouth hydrated, and keep it moisturized.
We had somebody call into our show and ask our producer to ask you what you think about fluoride.
Well, fluoride's a completely different topic.
But I mean, just real quick, are you pro, for it, against it?
I prefer using fluoride only in targeted situations, not broadcast in so many products and in the water supply. I prefer using fluoride only targeted where needed.
Yeah, like a topical application to the teeth. Well, we appreciate you commenting on that. And also, a news report came out recently showing how a number of people who are consuming diet products with aspartame, it actually is contributing to developing diabetes. That the xylitol, again, we'd like to see Xlear actually make a xylitol-based sports drink. So it's something you might want to pass along.
Right, and there's a possibility, although there are some problems with that. In that xylitol can have a laxative effect if you have it in too great an amount in people who are not used to it, especially in liquids on an empty stomach. So that would be the
again, you have the graduation.
Although you do get some energy from xylitol,
yeah,
but it's very slow release.
Would adding a small amount of it to some water be helpful?
Sure, that would be fine as long as it's in small amounts. We're talking, like I say, it doesn't take much. The total for the entire day is just would be a teaspoon, a heaping teaspoon, and you can imagine how much sugar is used in these energy products. There's cupfuls of sugar being used. So we use xylitol more as the antidote for sugar on the teeth. In other words, if they do have sugar, if they do have energy sources, the carbohydrate based, then just use a little xylitol to neutralize the damaging effects of that.
Oh, we want to thank you so much for joining us, and we hope again you get to come back and talk to us about your new book at some point in the future. We'd love to hear about that.
Hey, that's where we'll make the energy drink.
That sounds cool. And I just want to remind everybody that Spry dental products are available at Vitamin Shoppe, Whole Foods, Sprouts, Kroger's, and other natural retailers near you. You can also tell your dentist about xylitol and Spry, and for a complete list of retailers, please go to xlear.com. Again, I want to thank you so much, Dr. Peldyak. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you very much.
We'll talk to you again.
Let's stay active.
That sounds good.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Right.
He's so much fun. But I can say, my dentist strongly promotes the use of xylitol, the Spry products on the teeth and gums. But again, you can take it to, other benefits as well. And they've actually found, Dr. Peldyak was talking about the biofilm. And there is a connection for colon cancer and biofilm, that the biofilm protects bad bacteria in the digestive tract, which then can turn into, the irritation can turn into a cancerous cells developing, and that the xylitol potentially will break that down and not allow that to happen. So
interesting.
Yeah, and you can purchase xylitol in bag form. It's called XyloSweet. By Xlear, and a lot of people use that as a natural sweetener in baking, as well as little beverages that they're making.
Yeah, the beauty of it is it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you're, let's say you're making whatever it might be, oatmeal cookies, if your recipe calls for a cup of sugar, you simply use a cup of xylitol. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's easy to use. It bakes well, so...
Yeah. You can even use it directly. Like the first time I tried it, we were at a convention and they had sprinkled xylitol on some strawberries.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, can't believe, or you can taste it directly and you go, wow, that's actually, quite sweet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for all particularly people who are trying to lower that sugar level in their body, that's a good way to go.
Which probably most of us
should.
So even if you're not looking at the other multiple health benefits of xylitol, just the fact of reducing your sugar intake by using it would be great.
As we've said, anybody that has cancer, and we often don't know if we have cancer cells running around in our body, that sugar feeds cancer. Xylitol would be a good substitute to keep you healthier. Want to thank everybody who joined us today, and happy Mother's Day again to everybody.
Happy Mother's Day.
So it'll be Father's Day soon, guys, and you'll get your praise then. But right now, it's the moms, it's the women out there, and even those women who aren't moms. Even those women who aren't moms, they're moms to everybody. I can tell you, the brother, the sister, or
Yes, I know. Every day is Women Day. I get it.
It absolutely is. Women are the caretakers of the family. But again, I want to thank everybody who tuned in today, as well as called in today. You always make the show fun and exciting.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We're here each and every week, so don't miss an episode. Got to thank all our producers up and down the East Coast, especially Heather here at home. Always does an outstanding job. We are Holistic Healthline. Go to holistichealthline.com. Check out Jane's blog while you're there. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.